Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how sometimes the simplest things can actually be the trickiest?
Totally. Like you'd think tying your shoes is simple, right?
Exactly. Well, today we're diving into something that might seem super basic, but is absolutely crucial for making a killer first impression.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's all about how to introduce yourself in English.
Ah, see, that's what I was thinking. On the surface, it seems like, hi, my name is kind of thing.
Right, like everyone knows how to do it, but there's actually a lot more nuance to it than you might think.
I bet. So, what kind of expert advice did you dig up for this deep dive? Spill the tea.
Okay, so I found this really insightful analysis, and it totally changed my perspective on how to make introductions really shine.
Okay, I'm all ears.
I mean, think about it. When was the last time you really had to introduce yourself to someone new? Did you just rattle off your name and job title? Or did you actually try to make a connection?
Hmm, good point. I probably could have done better in a few situations that come to mind.
Well, that's what we're here for today, to unpack all those little details that can make a big difference.
All right, let's break it down.
So, let's start with the building blocks. What are the absolute essentials of a good self-introduction?
Okay, so the foundation is pretty straightforward. Your name, where you're from, and maybe a quick snippet about yourself, like your job or a hobby.
So basically just the facts, ma'am.
Exactly. Just to give the other person a little bit of context.
All right, that makes sense. So, for example, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm from Brazil, and I'm an architect.
Perfect. See, simple, to the point, and effective. Even something that basic can be super effective if you deliver it with confidence.
Confidence is key. I feel like that applies to pretty much everything in life.
100% agree. But okay, so we've got the basics down. Now, how do we level up? How do we take that basic intro and make it really stand out?
Ooh. Yeah, because let's face it, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'm from blah, blah, blah. Can get a little bit, well, boring.
Exactly. That's where the magic of personalization comes in. You want to weave in a detail that sparks curiosity, something that connects you to the other person or makes you memorable.
So it's like adding a little bit of spice to the mix.
Totally. Like in Sarah's case, she could say, hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Brazil and I'm an architect. In my free time, I love hiking and I'm actually learning Spanish so I can hike the Inca Trail next year.
Oh, I love that. It's like suddenly Sarah isn't just an architect, she's an adventurous language-learning hiker. Way more interesting.
Right. And that little extra detail could totally spark a conversation. Maybe the other person has hiked the Inca Trail or wants to learn Spanish.
That's like you're planting a seed for a potential connection.
Exactly.
Now, I imagine the way you introduce yourself probably also depends a lot on the situation, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like you wouldn't wear a ball gown to a backyard barbecue, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So how do we adjust our introductions to fit different contexts?
Well, it's all about understanding what we call code switching, basically adjusting your language and tone to match the situation.
So, like a casual party versus a job interview would require totally different vibes.
100%. Let's say Sarah is at a networking event for architects. She could say, good morning, I'm Sarah Martinez, an architect from Brazil with over 5 years of experience in urban design.
Okay, so it's still Sarah, but the tone is definitely more professional, and she's highlighting her relevant skills.
Exactly. It's about choosing the right version of yourself for the occasion.
That makes so much sense. Now, here's something I've always wondered. What about responding to someone else's introduction? Is there a way to go beyond just nice to meet you and show that you're actually listening and engaged?
That's a fantastic question. So often we just go on autopilot with the pleasantries.
Right, like nice to meet you too, and then crickets.
But there are so many ways to make it more meaningful. Try weaving in something that shows you are actually paying attention to what they said.
Oh, I see. So like if someone mentions their work, you could say, that sounds fascinating. What do you enjoy most about it?
Exactly. Or if they share a hobby, you could say, I've always wanted to try that. What got you started?
Yeah, those are great. It shows genuine interest and opens the door for a real conversation.
Exactly. It's all about making that connection.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the basic building blocks of an intro, the power of personalization, how to code switch for different situations, and even how to respond to someone else's intro in a way that shows you're really present.
I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
We have. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap things up?
Well, you know what they say, practice makes perfect. So my advice is to try out different versions of your intro and experiment with incorporating those personal touches and responsive phrases we talked about.
So, like, stand in front of the mirror and just practice introducing yourself in different ways.
You got it. And here's a final thought to leave you with. What if, Instead of just sharing information, you thought of your self-introduction as a way to subtly tell a story about who you are.
Oh, that's a brilliant way to put it. So think about what story you want to tell and practice those intros.
You never know what doors a great first impression might open.
That's so true. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another Deep Dives, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.